I don't plan on handing this script over to a director. I want to direct it. I mean, I'm naturally that way anyways. What I write, I want to direct. I almost write so that I can direct it. I think of the story and I think of it and I know I have to write it down and script it all out, but I'm thinking of it as an editor. I'm thinking of it as a storyteller. I'm an editor by trade. And it is personal to me because, like I say, as a kid, this is the environment that just absolutely opened my imagination up. I made Silk Trees a couple years ago. I think we did a pretty good job with the money that we had. When my kids saw me pour that much effort into the film, they say, "Why, Daddy, why can't we watch it?" And I would say, "Well, it's not for your age, it's for older. You know, when you're older, you can watch it. It's kind of dark, it's R-rated, whatever." And they're like, "Well, when are you gonna make something that we can see? We want to see something." Having 5 kids, having 5 boys under the age of 7, there's a tremendous amount of joy that comes from that. It's also a lot of work. It teaches me, it has taught me, and it continues to teach me, it's a moving target, but it teaches me to communicate clearly and effectively, and that's taught me a lot about directing kids. I think I'm at the best point in my life to be able to direct this type of film because I'm every day in the mode of communicating to my kids in a creative and effective way. People have asked me why I'm not just trying to pitch this to a studio. You know, I still could be the director, maybe I could get $70 million to make whatever. Well, I've experienced creative breakthroughs when I'm inside limitations. If you have unlimited resources, in my experience, things start to get sloppy and they start to fall apart. When you're forced to be sharp, I find that I get really great stuff. I don't really like the idea of wasteful spending. I think there's a lot of big-time Hollywood directors that have proven that lean, mean filmmaking can be very effective. You can have an amazing film made with a core crew, a core team that are really good at what they do. They communicate really well. They're amazing friends. They love what they do on set, and they know what they're supposed to do. And so I want to make this as an independent film. It's a creature movie and it's a high visual effects film, and typically that hasn't been an independent type film. But I think there's ways of doing it, and I've spent the last 6 months communicating with hundreds of visual effects artists. I'm very confident that there are ways of making this film for way less money than what LA would spend on it. I think there's no doubt that this script, the way that it's written right now, would cost between $70 and $120 million if Hollywood was to take it and try to make it. But when I budget it, and when I talk to pros and amazing visual effects supervisors and amazing producers that are independent producers, we very much believe that we can make this for around $10 million. It does cost some money, and we don't want to skimp on the areas that are very, very important to the story. And when you make a film for $10 million that has the right market, when you're going after the right market, your chances of coming out with a good return are exponentially increased. We're making something that we're going to plan out very, very carefully from start to finish. Pre-visualization is key in this process. You can't get the end result that you want unless you pre-visualize this, unless you storyboard, unless you lay it all out and plan the edit ahead of time. You can't know what your studio setups are going to be, what your location setup's going to be. You can't know what to do unless you pre-visualize this. That's why I've been teaming up with world-class 3D artists, both layout and story design artists, character designers, all the way through to the modelers, the riggers, the animators. And even though I may not outsource this entire thing to individuals or even form a company to make it like Lucas did, I'm not in the business of making a special effects company. We will outsource this to proven visual effects houses, world-class visual effects houses that can be had for maximum bang for the buck ratio. In having all these relationships that I have with visual effects artists, friends of mine that I've absolutely tapped for information over the last 6 months, having that many brains thinking through this process has really given me a lot of confidence to know how to make this movie start to finish. And not only do I know how to do it, I'm excited to do it. Every day I wake up and that's what I want to do. The destination or the end goal is oftentimes thought of as it. That's it. That's the end. And that's the importance. A lot of, emphasis put on that. And that is true. You obviously do work towards goals, but the journey is incredibly important. And that's why choosing a core crew that is of like mind, where we can communicate well with each other. And not just effectively. I don't mean just be productive, but I also mean have fun. Have this environment on set that is, wow, it's a blast. It's like something that when people come into our crew, when people come into our set, they don't want to leave. They come back and they say it was just an amazing time and I just can't wait for the next thing to where we can do this again. Because there's this community, there's this sense of purpose. We love doing what we do. We absolutely love doing it. We have a great time with it. And in that, when we're at our best, when we're communicating well, when we're having fun, when we're laughing, it inspires your imagination. When you're in a down place, you don't come out with great stuff. The art is absolutely affected by the spirit, the mood on set. We are looking to do something, and we do something almost every time with this type of crew, with the type of crew that is able to work together in that type of way, have a community, like a body, like everything's working together. These are the hands, these are the arms. Making the pitch trailer, we wanted to make something, we wanted to cut something together to give some of the moods, some of the ideas. And obviously there's not ever a lot of time and money to do it. But even just in that effort of pulling the crew together and giving it our best shot for no money, it's such an awesome experience to see and to confirm that bond that happens on set, where people who don't know you come in and say, there's something different, there's something awesome going on here, and I want to be a part of it. Making the pitch trailer was an awesome experience. It was great to get out there even just for 4 days. But getting out there for 4 days was a tease. And I absolutely believe that we know the right steps to get it done. It's just a matter of getting the right people on board to back this thing, to finance it, to believe in us, believe in this, believe in the story, believe in me. I'm inviting people to do that. And cut.